Okay, thank you for your patience. To you, it was nothing. To me, it was confusing. And then I remembered I wrote the number at the bottom of the page. It's all right. I'm a blonde by nature and by favor. Now, back to Mary. She was a gift to the church. Now, this makes sense considering the stature and responsibility that her parents held. They were Jewish. She was the firstborn. So they gave her to the temple. Firstborn, sacrificed to the Lord. In the temple, because she was a female, especially. So she was firstborn, and they gave her to the temple. And for his consecration and works. Now, disclaimer. This is real, and it isn't pleasant. It could trigger some people, but I don't expect too much fallout. As it didn't upset me like I realized later on, it really probably should have. Everybody's been through some form of abuse, and if you can't put the dots together by now, here, allow me to show you my color page. Morning. 1111 on the clock. I asked once, and all God said was later. Worry about kid business right now. Baby. It's God's name for me. I am his baby. Told y'all. Anyway. So, in the epiphany, the answering came, and I watched. And I bore witness, too, along with God. That poor child. The priests had been molesting her. Beautiful, anointed little girl. Telling her that what they were doing is how the religion works. That's just how it is. Before you think to get slick-mouthed, pop off in the comments. Don't bother. Don't try to shut me down. It ain't gonna do you no good. Because what I speak is the truth. And it will be known. God will see to it. I wouldn't be doing it if that weren't the case. No, it wasn't in English. They were speaking their language. Duh. I happen to have the gift of discernment of tongues and the translation of the tongues of the Spirit. That's why I knew what they were saying. I was standing beside God. He wanted me to know. Come on, people. Before we get into that, okay? I'm just going to shut it down now. 2, 3, 4 on the clock. The reason or way the Immaculate Conception occurred was because they weren't fully penetrating her, so her hymen wasn't broken. But go ahead and check into it. I actually have some friends in this town I live in, real talk, real business, that have gotten pregnant because of the same thing or the same way. And, well, that's how she got pregnant. So, God had mercy and love for this little girl. As he watched her, he saw there were, in fact, other people still on the earth, and that a great evil was being done to this child, the only person that thought on him and loved him. Thusly, the story of Jesus' birth. And God walked as Jesus in a vessel. If you read any of the Dead Sea Scrolls, 333 on the clock, then you'll find out that as a child, Jesus would smite people just because they displeased him. That was the Lord God. That wasn't a soul all its own new creation. No, that was God walking in that vessel. He chose to do that for that girl because she chose him. Real talk. Now, that's why Jesus knew what he knew and had the power he had. That's why demons knew who he was. That's why his creation revolted and sent him from it to Shaul. And that's how he got out of hell. That's how he got out of death. That's why it says we are one and the same. Now, to the important part. The part that this whole thing was about. This man, our God, came to earth to try to teach us what we didn't know and what we couldn't see. This man was persecuted, prosecuted, and murdered heinously because he wanted us to love him like he loved us. And only one person bothered to care enough to take him for who and what he was. Until he walked with us. That's why she was so blessed and so gifted. Now, understand this. The blood that he shed as a vessel, as a human, is what gave us the protection, the covering. Without that blood poured over the believers, when God looked down on the earth, he wouldn't be able to see anyone anymore, because no one would have faith of correctness. No one would be true. No one would be righteous and holy enough for him to see and work through. So that's our loophole. Score 1 for Team Yahweh. Yahweh's team, I win. So next time, when you think about his sacrifice and all he went through, don't think about the pain and the torture and the torment without remembering the truth of why, of what that blood covering was for. He's done everything he can. Stand up. Open your mouths. Keep your hearts open and soft and wide and ready, because it's time. He's here. There's no he's coming. He's back. I love you guys. Process that. Salom.